Antigens. Antigen. Any substance which, when introduced parenterally into the body, stimulates the production of an antibody with which it reacts specifically and in an observable manner. This is the definition for an antigen. The specificity of an antigen is a hallmark of all immunological reactions. Now let's see some definitions. Antigen. Antigens are molecules that interact specifically with the products of immune response generated by an immunogen, that is with the antibodies, B cell receptors and or T cell receptors. Next is immunogen. Substance which induces a detectable immune response, either humoral or cellular immune response, is called an immunogen. Next is antigenicity, property that allows a substance to combine specifically with antibodies or T cell receptors, whether or not they are immunogenic. The ability to bind to the antibodies or T cell receptors is antigenicity, whereas the ability to induce humoral or cell mediated immune response, this is immunogenicity. The fact is that all immunogens are antigens, but not all antigens are immunogens. All immunogens are antigens, but all antigens are not immunogens. Now let's see the different types of antigens. First is complete antigen. A complete antigen can induce antibody formation and produce a specific and observable reaction with antibodies so produced. So this is a complete antigen. Next are the haptens. Haptens are substances that are incapable of inducing antibody formation by themselves, but they can react specifically with antibodies. These haptens become immunogenic on combining with a larger carrier molecule. There are two types of haptens, complex haptens and simple haptens. Complex haptens can precipitate with specific antibodies, whereas the simple haptens are non-precipitating. One more difference is the complex haptens are polyvalent in nature, whereas the simple haptens are univalent. Next, what is an epitope? The smallest unit of antigenicity is known as the antigenic determinant or epitope. So the smallest unit of antigenicity is called the epitope, also called as antigenic determinant. It is a small area on antigen which usually consists of 4 to 5 amino acids having specific chemical structure, electrical charge and configuration. There are two types of epitopes, sequential or linear epitope and conformational epitope. The sequential or linear epitopes are present as a single linear segment of primary sequence. These are recognized by the T cells, whereas the conformational epitope consists of residues from different sites of peptide chains which are brought together during its folding into tertiary structure. And these conformational epitopes are recognized by the B cells. Linear epitope by T cell and conformational epitope by B cell. The combining area on the antibody molecule which corresponds to the particular epitope is called the paratope. So epitope is present on the antigen and paratope is the corresponding area on the antibody. Next, let's see the determinants of antigenicity. First is size. Larger the molecules, high is their antigenic capacity. So the larger molecules are highly antigenic, whereas the smaller molecules are relatively lower antigenic. Chemical nature, the proteins and polysaccharides are more antigenic, whereas lipids and nucleic acids are comparatively less antigenic. Susceptibility to tissue enzymes, substances which are metabolized and are susceptible to action of tissue enzymes behave as antigens. But the substances which are very rapidly broken down are not antigenic. Next is the foreignness. Only antigens that are foreign that is non-self antigens, induce an immune response. Antigenicity is directly proportional to the foreignness. Coming to heterogenetic specificity, also called heterophile specificity. Same or closely related antigens may sometimes occur in different biological species, classes and kingdoms, and these are called as heterogenetic or heterophile antigens. So the same or closely related antigens are present in different biological species, classes and kingdoms called as heterogenetic or heterophile antigens. These heterophile antigens are responsible for heterophile reaction, which are diagnostic serological reactions. Few examples of heterophile reactions are Weil-Felix reaction to detect typhus fever, in which the protease antigen is used to detect rickettsial antibody, as they share the common antigen, that is the heterophile antigen. Next is Paul-Bunel test in infectious mononucleosis, using sheep's RBC to detect antibodies in the patient's sera, which share the same antigen, heterophile antigens. Next is cold agglutination test in primary atypical pneumonia. The Mycoplasma and O blood group RBCs share the same heterophile antigen. These are the three main examples of heterogenetic specificity. The biological classes of antigens. There are two classes, T-cell dependent and T-cell independent antigens. First, let's see about T-cell dependent antigens, known as TD antigens, T-cell dependent antigens. Most of the natural proteins are T-cell dependent antigens, and the B cells cannot respond to them without a co-stimulatory signal from the T helper cells. So now let's see the mechanism. Antigens bind to the surface immunoglobulin of B cell, which are internalized and processed to smaller peptides, and these are expressed on the B cell surface, which are complexed with MHC class II presented to T helper cells, and these T helper cells process the antigen, secrete cytokines, and they start expressing CD40 ligand. So the CD40 ligand is present on the T cells, which interacts with CD40 on the B cells. 40 is present on the B cells, whereas CD40 ligand, the receptor for it, is present on the T cells. The TB interaction and the cytokines provide stimulus for B cell activation. So this is the mechanism for activation of B cells, which are T cell dependent antigens. Now the T cell independent antigens, known as TI antigens, T cell independent antigens. The TI antigens directly stimulate the antibody production by the B cells without the help of T cells. So they do not require the help of T cells for the antibody production. The TI antigens, mostly the microbial lipids, sugars and certain nucleic acids, they react with B cell receptors of the innate immunity and directly lead to antibody production. There are two types of T cell independent antigens, type 1 antigens and type 2 antigens. Type 1 antigens are endotoxin lipopolysaccharide, which are directly mitogenic for B cells, leading to polyclonal B cell activation, and the type 2 antigens like polysaccharides, cell wall or capsular polysaccharides, or proteins like flagellar protein, which activate the B cells to generate specific antibodies with the help of cytokines and antigen presenting cells. These are the two types of antigens, T cell independent antigens. Coming to a very important topic, super antigen. Certain proteins like the staphylococcal enterotoxins that activate very large number of T cells irrespective of their antigenic specificity. These are called as super antigens. They activate very large number of T cells which are irrespective of their antigenic specificity. So the mechanism of action is they bind outside to the antibody binding groove directly to the lateral aspect of the TCR beta chain. So this is the T cell expressing the T cell receptor and the APC with class 2 MHC molecule. The normal antigen binding site is this alpha 1 beta 1 interface. But here the superantigens bind to the lateral aspect of the TCR beta chain. So this is the superantigen binding to the lateral aspect of the TCR beta chain. They cause release of cytokines like interleukin 2, which cause massive proliferation of T lymphocytes, leading to further release of cytokines having profound effects of immune system. This is the mechanism of action of superantigens. Now let's see the examples of few superantigens. Organism Staphylococcus aureus has a superantigen enterotoxin, and the disease produced due to it is food poisoning and toxic shock syndrome. Group A Streptococci, whose superantigen is pyrogenic exotoxin, producing disease, shock, psoriasis and rheumatic heart disease. And the Mycobacterium tuberculosis has a superantigen which causes tuberculosis. HIV has negative regulatory factor NEF, which causes AIDS, and the rabies virus has nucleocapsid proteins, which causes rabies. So these are few important concepts in antigens. Thank you.